everybody? This is Mr. Right Way. Today we're gonna do a little different video. It's gonna be us doing pickups. So I never really done a pickup video with somebody. So I got my good friend, the Immortal John Hancock. John, how you doing, man?
Hey, pleasure being on your channel, Steve.
Thank you again, man. And I know I know you found a whole bunch of good stuff. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody?
Yeah, so I really am been more selective on picking up things. I pursue kind of the weird stuff, and recently my wife took me on a trip to Portland, and went to a couple game stores, side quest games and double jump games, as well as a local flea mart opened up. I was like, holy cow, awesome!
What? A flea market?
So, yeah, a local flea mart opened up for the first time. And there was about 20 vendors, and there actually was some game stuff. And I was like shocked. It was an outdoor flea mart on property that's up for sale, so we don't know how long that's going to be. But anyways, a couple things I picked up. At Side Quest Games, I picked up this, and this is a Dreamcast demo disc for a single game. These are pretty tough to find, and I thought it was kind of odd. I'm going to talk about this further in a video I'm going to do on my channel. But yeah, it's Demolition Racer No Exit, and that is these demo discs, especially for single games on Dreamcast, are difficult to find, especially with their paper sleeve. And so that's kind of an odd pickup. $10.
Is that that pickup that you get, that video, the game, is it sealed?
No, you can take it out. There's a sticker there where it was sealed. It wasn't so. Okay. And then when you look at the actual disc, it'll say it'll say demo disc not for resale. It may be a little bit hard to see, but it's right there.
That's nice though, man.
Yeah, it's nice shape, nice and clean. But yeah, these I'm not showing the back because it has an address, but these paper sleeves with the demo disc are difficult to find.
Oh wow. Okay. You got something else?
Oh yeah, I got a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah, you go. Okay, I'll go ahead and go. Yeah. Well, I have got, and I talked about this all the time. And John, when I got this, I thought about some of these things I got. There's 3 things here I got when I thought about you, but here's one of them. It is a box full of these. Now, what's inside these boxes? As you can see, it says slim case and it says jewel case.
Jewel case. Yeah.
Now, what is in jewel case? Well, it is clear jewel cases.
Ooh, I can nice those look.
I know, right? It's so good that I can that I can replace my PS1 games. Now, if you see, here's one dirty, dingy PS1 game that I had. Right? Look at this right here compared to it. Look at it, night and day. Yep. Look at that. That's
major difference.
Major difference. And when you're finished with it, you will have a nice, clean game. And if you want to decide to resell or trade, it actually will make it look so much better, even the inside. Now, I will say one thing about this. Now, this is just individual taste. A lot of people will like those, and you can get them, but it has to say, like, when it says compact disc on there. Yes. These do not say the compact disc, but they're a lot cheaper, and basically, they're the same thing, you know. So I got these off of Amazon. If you want to go on Amazon, I'll try to provide a link later. I'm gonna find a link and put there at the bottom. But these are such a godsend because, man, my whole PlayStation library now, my PlayStation 1 library, I done bought like 4 or 5 boxes of these, and they're very cheap, very affordable, and you get 50 a box, and I love it. It's the best thing you can get.
It looks great.
All right, so.
All right, next up, going old school here, and this is pre-Game Boy, and this is a handheld, and it's actually like an early flight sim that you control. This has a KB, it takes batteries, and these are fun to collect, and finding them in the box that's not all beat up and stuff, they're pretty neat. So having this complete in box, I got this at Side Quest Games. They only had this. And these are the types of things that are different that you can put in your collection that people will notice. Like if you have a YouTube channel or if you have a little nook where you have like your game stuff.
Mhm.
It's cool to have this stuff because then people are like, ooh, what's that? I've never
Yeah.
seen that before. And this is kind of an oddity. There's a ton of this stuff out there. Sometimes you can find it a good deal, but it's so old that a lot of people that are even selling it may not be attached to it, and you can get it for a good price. I got this for $30. It's about what it's going for on eBay,
Okay.
and it's in good shape, and it works. So, yeah.
Man, I thought that was one of those. Remember the old school voice recorders you put that you tape when you go to school back in
Oh,
the
yeah.
day? It
Yeah, it
looks
looks a
just
little bit
like
like that.
yeah, it looks like one of those. I was like, a tape recorder, huh? Okay, that's pretty dope. Well, speaking of odds and end type of deals, I was gifted a really nice gift, and me being, I know you like Sega, and I
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
love Sega too. It's part of our childhood. I got something new, and it's not the classic, but it's this, and you probably have it, John. And it's a USB drive, a USB
Oh,
hub.
yeah. That's
That's not,
cool.
and it's really really cool. And I haven't really even opened it. That's gonna be my first time. Well, no, I'm keep it closed, but it's really. I said like these right here. They're just nice little piece. It even says Nerd Block Incorporated. So look at the.
Those are neat.
And I think this is licensed by Sega because look, it says Sega Master System. I don't know if that's. Yeah, that's weird, huh? I never
Yeah,
seen
that's
Sega.
cool. I've seen those before, and that's cool. Those are neat. That's like an aesthetic piece too for like your setup. That's really, those are nice things to have because you can keep the box in your collection, and
Yeah,
you can still use the USB hub. So, I mean, everything's USB these days. So like having that, for at least my studio and stuff, that's cool. Really
I
neat.
really like that. All right, you can go
All
next.
right. All right, next up, I like every now and then it's kind of harder in the States to find Famicom games, and so I like collecting Famicom games that didn't come here that are arcade classics.
Okay.
And this is Argus, and you can play the arcade version of this on your Nintendo Switch. This is the Famicom version, and so the Famicom, for people that don't know, it's Nintendo before Nintendo brought the NES here, and it's
Okay.
complete. And again, I got a good deal on this. I got it $10. Not a bad price. It's cool because the Famicom carts, there's different colors and shapes and sizes. And then on the back, it's kind of cool. It has a screenshot with, and then it has it in Japanese, and then it has like an advertisement that's got all the goodies in it. Oh, see,
That's nice. I like that.
and then it's got the manual.
Huh.
And so it's just cool. It's an all right shooter. It kind of plays a little bit like Xevious.
Mhm.
And so, but the box was in decent shape. It was complete. And, these are kind of the fun things if you collect Nintendo. And Famicom is pretty cheap. If you go loose cart,
Mhm.
especially, you're going to find, you might have a flea mart local to you that will have some of this stuff. There's a lot of pirated carts out there. You have to be careful. But I like collecting kind of complete little box copies. And so, that won't set you back too much, and there's a lot of clone systems that'll play Famicom. I use a retro USB AVS, and it plays Famicom carts, and it looks really pretty on a HD TV.
Don't the Retrons play the Famicom games?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. I should know that, but I don't offhand. I
Okay,
think
that's
you're right.
cool. 'Cause
I think you're right.
I think I saw like the Retron 5 had like one of those slots.
I do believe so. Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Another cheap way to play it. Relatively expensive.
So my next pickup, I actually got off another from Amazon, and it was one of the deals of the day. And
Ooh,
these
nice.
deals, you got to keep catching them because sometimes they have it, and then the deal run out, and then the price will skyrocket back up. But
Oh, yeah.
I went ahead and bit the bullet on it because I saw so many people had many uses for this, and this is a really good piece. It's a huge thing, but it is the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro. And if you look online, you can do a lot of stuff with this thing. Also, this Neo Geo Stick Pro, it can actually work on the Neo Geo if you have the right hookups, and on the PlayStation and on the Xbox. So you also got a really nice arcade stick, and look, it got the kind of the clicky sound, if you can hear that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Micro switches.
Yes, and it's well built. I was playing this earlier, putting this like in my lap, and it's not super heavy, it's not super, it's just right. And also too, to get player 1 and 2, you can hook up the controllers that came up with it, the ones that are non-clicking the micro switches. You can you can play the games with this on your TV. Now, the one thing to notice about the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro, it has a copy system. It looks just like the Switch. The menu looks exactly like the Switch, but it's just yellow and black. I'm like, okay. So it's weird, but it's good, and it's the emulation on it is really, really good. You could, if you put it next to an AES card, and we all know how expensive those AES cards are, but if you put it next to next, you won't tell the difference. This is really good for, like I say, 90% of people today. You had that 10% that wants exact, you can get that like on a Mister or something like that. But this right here is really dope, and I like it.
You get a good deal on the stick?
I did. I got a good deal on it.
Good.
Because it was like $149 at first, then they dropped it down like $99. Now it's like $130, and the prices all over the place. And actually, I got it late at night because it's like I get updates on my Twitter account, and I saw it went on sale. So, let me put it in my cart and bought it. Should have been a good decision buying stuff at night, but it's here, so hey.
So you can add games. You can add games to it.
Oh, you can add a whole library.
All right. Can you play anything other than Neo Geo?
I haven't tried that out yet, but
right.
the community is rallying around it. So I bet in about another month, yeah, they're working on it. But it's really nice, and it looks so much better on the TV than the little arcade Pro, the little arcade mini. It looks 10 times better. It's not like that PSD emulation. It looks good.
Yeah. That's good. Good to hear. Maybe I'll pick one up. And the fact that it can work on original Neo Geo, is that I heard you correct on that?
Yeah, because you got to use So how you get it? I saw in there. You have to get another piece. Like the what is that? I think
9-pin extension cord.
You have to get one of them extension cord, but you also have to get one of those
adapter.
One of our adapters. Yes, one of those adapters to hook it up. So I've seen it done it before, and the same way with the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So it's an all-around machine. Especially unlocking all this, you can have your whole AES library. On here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very neat. All right, next up, I kind of got an odd piece. Had a good friend kind of contact me, and he was selling a couple pre-production carts and Super Nintendo of all things. And so this is a game that never came to the States. I'm a big fan of Tetris Blast, and it's called Bombliss over in Japan. And this is actually Super Tetris 2 Bombliss. And as you can see, it's just a board. Mm-hmm. And the stickers, those aren't original. Those are covering up the windows because these are they're socketed chips, and so they're not soldered onto the board. They're just inserted into there. This is a pre-production board. The ROM on this is final though. Mm-hmm. But anytime you can pick this stuff up, sometimes it's hard to find out if it's legit or not. This is legit. And I paid $75. It was a really good deal for a pre-production board. And so the board looks different than I bought this game off eBay, and I wanted to compare the two to see if there's any ROM variations. If you get a pre-production prototype and it's different than the final ROM, sometimes the value can skyrocket. This isn't any different, so I got a good deal on it. Mm-hmm. But these are kind of oddities to collect, and I'm a big Nintendo fan, so it was nice to get a Super Famicom prototype.
That's gonna look good.
Pre-production.
That's gonna look really good in your upcoming museum, man. That's gonna look really good. You had that piece all shining with the light and rotating and stuff. It's gonna look nice.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there's a lot of things out there. As you do a lot of hunting that's mm-hmm. thrown out. And the person selling this, he was reviewing, I guess, magazines, or he was a reviewer for a magazine or something like that. And a lot of times they wouldn't send you the actual game; they would send you a board, and here's the game on it, and that you review it. That's how you did it back in the day. Now they just give you a download code, but times have changed quite a bit. I much rather would ever have this than a code, but for people that don't have a lot of space, the stuff is just lying around for some people, and so it's cool. Saved it.
Really nice. Well, cool. All right, this next pickup is like a bundle deal because I kind of got them all around the same time, but they're the same genre. And they're all sealed. So I'm gonna put up all three of them at one time if I can, and it's three Game Boy games. And the first one is Disney's Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. And I got this in like a half price book for like $9.
Nice.
And this one, I'm gonna say the Bernstein Bears. Now this title is not gonna change when this video uploads. So
Berenstain.
the Bernstein, yeah. And then one of my favorites as a child, I loved this cartoon is Gumby. And I heard this was a really hard game to find. I heard this got the H seal on it, so I heard this game was sought after. It was a really super cheap price, like I think $20, Holly. I think around no less than $20, but for all three of them. But yeah, I just don't see Game Boy Advance games like in the box and also sealed still. You know, now some of the boxes are little imperfections, but put in these cases just to keep them nice. But yeah, man, that's just really weird to find. You know, these games like that just still all these years from now.
Yeah, you find it's usually fractured though, and that's part of the issue right now is that the things that people typically find, it's odds and bits and pieces of stuff that have moved or people forgotten about. It's harder to find like complete runs of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, definitely sealed games, especially certain sealed games, are worth quite a bit. So that was a nice score.
Thank you.
All right, next up. I like collecting the odd, and I've been collecting Commodore VIC-20 stuff, and it's pretty tough to find in person. So I got these off eBay. Okay. And Commodore VIC-20, for people that don't know, it was a precursor to the Commodore 64. It was the first computer to sell 1 million units. There's a new upcoming product coming out that looks like a Commodore VIC-20, but it's going to run. It's the same company that made the C64 Mini.
Okay.
And so it's essentially they're making a VIC-20 looking C64. Anyways, Choplifter, I got a bunch of, and so for people that haven't seen VIC-20 cart, they're weird. So this is an early computer with long cartridges. And I did a video on my channel about some good C64 games in my collection. This is some odd stuff to collect. And what I love about collecting this classic computer that came out in 1980 is everything's different. Every box size, every color. So here's another game. I haven't cleaned it up too much, but this is it's a hard case. It's a clamshell River Rescue.
That looks like a rental tape.
Yeah. Thorn EMI definitely did some other stuff, and so inside it's got a little catalog, and then the cartridges are totally different. It's nice shape, and River Rescue plays a little bit like a side-scrolling River Raid. But yeah, it's just bizarre. Really good shape. So this is the type of stuff that I like to collect because it's a little bit, sometimes when you collect non-mainstream stuff, you can get a better deal on it or nobody cares as much. I'm a little bit older, so I grew up early 80s, and this is some stuff. Now, I thought about your fiance on this next one.
Okay.
And that's Ms. Pac-Man. And this is the VIC-20. This is the VIC-20 one. And wow. And so, trying to get, I think the warranty is expired.
90-day warranty, huh?
But yeah, so Atari. So for people that don't know, this is kind of cool. It's got a really cool manual.
Nice.
And then on the back, it's got it's all colorful.
That is really good shape, man.
Yeah. The box is a little beat up. I paid $40 for all three of these games off of eBay. The cartridges, this is not the best version of Miss Pac-Man, but it's really nice shape.
Okay.
But going back to that like non-mainstream game collecting is that you're going to get a deal typically on something that sits at a game store. Game stores want to move stuff, and the popular stuff, they're not going to budge on prices because they know that anybody's going to walk in the store and get it. But on something like this, they may have this in their collection or in their inventory a long time. Less people are going to care about stuff like this. Now, it's not for everybody, but I enjoy collecting it. This is a separate score I got, and that's Seamus. And this is a game I did show on my channel, and it plays a lot like Berserk. But then this is the box. The boxes are all different, and it looks cool. It looks cool on a shelf, and they're good. And some of these are good games. Seamus is one of the better games on the system.
That's pretty cool. Nice. What else to show real quick? Okay, I guess up to five. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, the fifth time. All right. I'm into PlayStation 1 collection. A lot of stuff is going to be next. These next pickups are going to be mostly PlayStation, except for one. So a game I've been after on a PlayStation 1 for a long, long time, and it's called Thousand Arms.
Oh yeah.
And I really like Wild Arms, and I don't know if this is in the same genre, but man, it is. Yeah, it's by Atlas, but these are old school PlayStation 1 RPGs. I've just been going back through them like the last couple of months, me playing them and stuff. I mean, they're so amazing. They still hold up. Like, I thought this always made me think of Wild Arms because of the name, but Wild Arms is almost like a Zelda clone in a way, but it's the music and everything was just great. And I never got a chance to play this, so I'm super excited about this. Also, it came almost complete, which it has the manual, really crispy manual. Let me see what else. This is okay. I didn't know it. This is kind of like it says peel off your label if you wanted to send something back. This is really crazy. So if you wanted a free soundtrack and multimedia CD, they gave you a self-addressed envelope for them. Look at that. That's nice. Crazy. And then also, I guess registration card.
Yep.
And then the last thing on that came with it was some kind of looking phone card looking thing. Like, I don't know what that is. It's like a little litho card, I guess, a little art book thing. So back in the day, even in the PlayStation 1 era, they would give you really good goodies for your game and stuff. And also
Working Designs back in the day, which is their hometown was in Reading, right in my backyard, and they had amazing packaging and stuff. And so
this is Atlas. This is Atlas right here.
Yeah. I was talking about just PlayStation 1 in general, that some of the, especially the RPG stuff, Working Designs, they offered amazing collectible stuff. I have a complete Working Designs collection, and so their pack-in stuff was amazing. So RPGs, PlayStation 1, I mean, and it's really important to note that getting the warranty and the registration cards and the stickers and everything to a game is going to increase the value of it.
Oh, okay. I kind of figured that it was just it was like so satisfying because now you get a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One game, you don't get nothing. Even on Switch, you just get blank, and I miss those.
You don't get a manual.
No, you don't get a manual. When you get a manual for like a new age game, you feel so good, especially if it's a color manual. It's so great.
All right, next up, we'll keep that kind of RPG thing going. So I actually got this from a good friend of mine, and this is Etrian Odyssey 2 for the 3DS. And I'm going to bring this up because right now you can get cheap 3DS games because people are moving more and more to the Switch. And so people are, cutting down on their 3DS collection or trading it to get Switch stuff. Yep. And there's a ton of awesome RPGs. You're talking about RPGs. Another great handheld is 2DS or 3DS. Collecting this stuff is getting cheap, and you can get some of this stuff on Amazon and eBay really cheap right now. So I encourage it. I got this from a friend because it was a double in his collection. Wow. And he just found it. He's just like, here, I have a double. You can just have this. And so this is a great series to collect for and recommend it. So, yeah.
That's pretty awesome, man. Well, yeah. I guess keeping in the RPG element and into the PlayStation element, I got these on the same day, and I never got to really post them because I don't know. Sony handhelds have really been disappointing, and the fact that they're not good games, it's just a support. It's like they put them out there and they just forgot about it. It was like, and you have all these amazing games, and some of these games, not these two games I'm gonna show, they are super duper cheap. You can get some amazing PSP and PS Vita games, super duper cheap, but they're hard to find though, because it's like I was at Portland Retro Expo last year, and Jason walked by. There was a guy selling a whole bunch of PlayStation stuff, and I looked at him and said, "Hey, did you buy this?" He said, "For $5? Yeah, that's a cup of coffee." And really, you can get a PSP game for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. But not these two, though. These two I got on the same day because it was in a part of my trade. But both of them, Dragon Ball Tag Team, and I can't
And Jewel
pronounce.
Summoner.
Yeah, Jewel Summoner. Okay, this I don't know why I can't read these because they're so weird how they write the stuff on there. You know how they just the spine on it. It's really really weird. But another Atlas game. I always try to pick up an Atlas title. If I see an Atlas
Low
title, I
print.
look it up. Yeah, low print because I'll look it up. I say, oh, do they have it? And yep, like super duper complete. And I don't know how big of an anime fan you are, but I love Dragon Ball Z. And this Dragon Ball Z game is like super hard to find sometimes. When you find it, it's expensive. And this game was underpriced severely at a game store. It was this game right here, it typically goes like $60 to $80. And they had this game for $10. And I did a
Nice.
double take. And I was like, oh my goodness. And like sometimes when you're out hunting and you find that game and it's severely underpriced, and you look at yourself like, no, it's not really. And I look, and then it was like complete.
Yeah.
Now the only thing wrong with this is the case, because the PSP case is a flaw. Sometimes this right here part will wear out, and it's horrible. It would not hold this PSP game for nothing. And
also, the PSP discs themselves, the case that's in those wear out as well. And you can get replacements if you just want to play something. They're clear typically, but that's another thing. Yeah. I worked at a GameStop back in the day. And so actually I worked at a couple GameStops, but mid 2000s, I worked at another GameStop. They had a bunch of PSP stuff, and I was able to add a lot to my collection. There's a lot of PSP, especially of compilation. I've covered a little bit on my channel. I need to cover more of it, but there's some amazing stuff on that system.
That PSP is amazing.
All right, next up, a little different here. And so I'll do both of these at the same time. And so this is sometimes collecting magazines. I've been kind of collecting oddities. This is EGM's player guide to Sega Saturn. And this is something you don't see too often.
How big is that?
Got this at Double Jump Games.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool, $5.
Okay.
So sometimes you can get a really good deal if you collect different things. And this probably sat at their store for a bit, and it's complete. It's got some cool stuff in it. Talks about some early Sega Saturn stuff, and it talks about Virtua Fighter, Daytona USA, Virtua Cop, Shinobi Legions, Bug. But it was about kind of like the Saturn's coming, and this is what's coming out on it. So, I know that you like Sega Saturn. I'm a huge Saturn fan, and this type of stuff is kind of fun to collect because it's odd, and finding it in good shape. The other thing I have is actually a PlayStation. Let's see here. I have it's an address on one side, so I can't show that. But so it's Grandia, and it's an advertisement, and it opens up, and it pops open, and it's something totally different. But yeah, it pops. It's got like different. I'm sorry, I'm trying to show it here.
Yeah. That's nice. And that Grandia is one of the a high demand PS1 game.
So sometimes when you go hunting for games, it's also good to hunt for not only games, but display things. That's total trade bait. Getting the display boxes, this looks simple, but fans of PlayStation stuff, they go wild over this stuff. Oh, sorry, it's backwards. And so, finding this stuff, especially advertisement, there's people out there that collect that stuff. It's worth picking up if you get a good price on it, because you can then trade that for something that you want, or trade it for something else that you want for your collection.
Sweet. Well, well, let's go next. Let me get this big pickup. Well, it's not really big, but it's pretty nice. Now, this has been out for a while, but with the anniversary coming up in a couple, I guess it's this year, the official anniversary until Nintendo announced it, this is something nice. It is Super Mario Encyclopedia. Nice. And this is a really nice. At first, when it came out, this was overpriced. It was like $40 originally, and I got it at half price books for $9.99. So I guess
good example.
Yeah, good example. So I waited to get this. I've been wanting it. It's like complete like Mario stuff. Like
coffee table books are great.
All of that Super Mario. It just goes through the years of stuff. This is a one good book. Man, look at all that. Look at all that. So yes, I got this right here, and I'm happy to have this in my collection. Just I don't know where to put it in.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, where I would collect more books and accessories and stuff. I'm just out of space. I mean, for me, my collecting is slowed down because of space. But the long-term goal is to eventually have it out of my house. And so, but those coffee table style books are amazing. It's great if especially if you don't have young kids around, you can have them, out for people to look at or on a shelf and stuff. Very cool.
All right, you next.
All right, next up, this is kind of an oddity, another oddity. I got a Pac-Man picture disc, and so these are records, and so there's several different ones, but it's got songs on it. So it's got songs of Pac-Man and stuff. But yeah, these came out, they were popular, but came with the sleeve and everything, $3. Now, these aren't worth too much.
Okay.
Different ones are worth more.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, picture discs on both sides.
Does it play? So it plays?
Yeah, it plays. It's got songs on it. It's got it's a phono picture disc. So yeah, it's got both songs on both sides. The Pac-Man theme, Pac-Man Magic Land, the Gang Up Ghost Quarter, Turning Blue, He's Too Bust for Me, and yeah, so yeah, it's got Pac-Man songs, and so this is another thing that you can pick these up.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be game related. Sometimes people pursue music and stuff. I also got a bundle of cassette tapes, which I'm not going to show here, but over there I got a bundle of cassette tapes because my buddy sells cassette tapes. So I bought a bundle of cassette tapes for nothing, like $5 for a stack.
Man.
And then I'm going to trade those into him, and then he's going to probably pick up a game for my collection. And so it's really important. I know you're really good at it.
Yeah.
Steve, of picking up stuff to trade. And so knowing the value of things before you're on the hunt, and then picking them up. If something's undervalued, like you said, pick it up, because then you can trade for something that you want. So it's totally worth it.
Well, good. I like how you set me up for the next pickup and stuff, because that's exactly what I did on this next one. I've been in search for this particular right here, and it's PlayStation VR. And,
nice.
And this is the Model 2, but I really, really love the VR system, and also got games with it also. So the games I got with it was Everybody's Golf, one of the best, I think the best game on there.
Astrobot,
it's the best. Moss. And then this new one is VR mode included, but a Concrete Genie. So I got all those at the same time, because I put it on one of our groups here in Dallas that anybody have a VR system. And somebody got back with me, and I said, okay, you want to trade? I had something to trade for him, So we made the trade, and and the only thing I needed was the headset, because in another trade, I had got the box and the two Move controllers. And don't get me wrong, the Move controllers now are super expensive. I don't know why the Move controllers went up. Like one Move controller is probably $40. That's crazy. Like last year, you can get a Move controller for like $15. They had tripled in price already. But I guess everybody's into PlayStation VR, which I look at this as a separate system, because once you play this, it's hard to explain it. But once you put this on and go, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I think VR, if you don't get sick, and the newer games are getting better at it. I guess Iron Man VR is a good example of a game that's not making people sick. And so they're figuring out the technology more. The VR is a great experience if you don't get sick. And so you set me up. So let me show you what I scored. So, all right. They threw in this box for free. Sorry, I didn't have it closer. I thought it was closer to me. All right. So it's really important when you're going out that you may not find anything super rare or sealed, and that's okay, because you brought it up. I found this in a dollar bin, and so I found this for $1, and it came. The guy's like, "Oh wait, make sure to grab the charger." And so it's an Energizer charger, and these are like $40, and they're selling a pair of these a new for $100.
Mm-hmm.
You know, forget that. You know, go to a yard sale. And I mean, these came out, they tried to imitate the Nintendo Wii.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't super popular for the PS3.
They would.
But people need these for their VR, for PlayStation VR. And so, yeah, Sony still makes them, but why pay that price? You know, buy it used. And typically you can find it cheaper. I mean, I think the average price used, you can find these anywhere from $20 to $30. I got lucky, and so I picked it up. Not only that,
that's good.
$1. $1. No, check it out. Now that's, but wait, there's more.
Okay.
So this is the other thing. You know, Microsoft's really popular, and so getting $1 for some 360 controllers, and so with the battery pack on it. So usually you find those are all jacked or they're missing. And so having the original battery case in nice shape, this analog stick probably needs to be cleaned. I think it's important to note that if you're getting controllers, especially now, make sure to clean them. The alcohol swab out and the Clorox wipes. You can even take them apart and just give them a bath. And but yeah, definitely worth noting that these are worth getting. The trade-in for any place, these are going for, if working and everything's functional on a controller, $30-$40. So yeah, I mean, in getting these for $1, I got these for side quest, and so I picked them up. They were looking for controllers, and then I'm gonna trade those controllers for something I want.
I mean, yeah, man, so you got gold. I mean, controllers right now, especially for like Xbox, like you said, Xbox, even Wii controllers. Wii controllers are, oh my goodness. Wii controller, I know it's like that PlayStation 3 controller. Is that 3 or 4?
That's 3.
Okay, that's 3. Okay, yeah. I noticed that those are the 3 and the 4, because the 4 has the 1 hookup, the 3 has a 2 hookup. But yeah, the 3, everybody wants that 3 one, because you know you can have like mini USB or the regular USB, and they sell for crazy amounts. So like, that's good trade bait, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
congratulations.
Trade. It's trade bait.
All right, so I'm trying to see which I'm gonna show next over here. So we got about 2 more turns left.
Yeah.
I guess, let me see. Yeah, I want to show something that's really rare. Well, not rare. Okay, I don't want to say rare because that's the next one. But these
we can talk about rare. That could be a whole other video. Confusing rare with sought after.
Hey, that'd be a good video to come on your channel and do. I'd definitely be down to do that. So these games are very limited, I say right now, and there is kind of exclusives. There are PS4 games. One is a GameStop exclusive. One is like a rare, not rare, but like limited. It's hard to find. And I actually super short print run, yes. And it's Duke Nukem 20th anniversary, and this right here, Trailblazers. And I love a good car game. I saw people review this and say it was a really good game. And this is by Rising Star. This is by Gearbox, but this is like the Sega Saturn version. But it's, it's a 20th anniversary. Now this was about a GameStop exclusive. Now, everybody talk crazy about GameStop, but sometimes they do get exclusives. And now this game is going for like about 40 to 50. I say right at 40. I've seen 1 or 2 options. People like put $59.99 and buy it now, which I don't believe those. But this game is starting to be sought after. It's like, I don't understand what's up with PlayStation 4, like that Godzilla, Gravity Rush remasters. Those limited run games, not limited run, but limited print games, are crazy. Low print runs, and this right here is another. This is it. So
Rising Star, they did some other sought after titles, but now's the time to pick up. We're getting near PlayStation 5, and so getting that stuff, especially while GameStop is still around, they're the ones that always have the cheap kind of current titles. It's fun to go in there and like, I don't know what I'm going to collect, but you can typically get some really, especially PlayStation 4. There's just more games available than what people are buying. So you can get those GameStop exclusives at GameStop really cheap if you shop around, and those are good scores.
All right, thank you.
All right, next up. I picked up a couple different, going back to PlayStation 1, and I need cases for these. I need to get my, I have the original cases on there. Sometimes I keep the original cases on, depending on how jacked they are. Okay. This one has an electronic electronic boutique sticker on it, but this is Descent Maximum. And so this is a PlayStation variation, I think, of Descent 2.
Okay.
And so it's a 3D kind of roaming game, kind of fun. And then Speedball 2100. And that's a game that I recently got. I did a PlayStation sports game compilation on my channel, and I covered this. And so a couple loose PlayStation games, especially if they're sports titles. But like a good thing with searching for PlayStation games is search the music CD sections of your pawn shops.
Yes.
And you can find all sorts of crazy stuff. You're going to find some good deals, especially for PlayStation 1, and it's getting kind of old. Most of the PlayStation games can be resurfaced too, so don't worry if it's lightly scratched or something. You can usually take that to a repair shop, and they can fix it or buff it. So, yep.
That's really nice, man. Like I said, all this PlayStation love, man. I love PlayStation so much. I think, you know what, PlayStation, I sound like a hurt boyfriend. Like, PlayStation broke my heart during the PlayStation 3 era. And so I had to forgive them and start getting back more PlayStation 3 games and stuff like that. But not PlayStation 3, but I'm going back to PlayStation 2. And I guess this is my 10th one, I think. Yeah. And talking about rare games and talk about super rare games. Whew, this right here, it didn't hurt my wallet because I sold stuff to get it, but it is Kuon.
Oh yeah, yeah, nice.
And it's pretty nice. Now this right here, I'm not a super big fan of horror games. The only reason I got this is to make a good trade back later on, because this game right here is always going to keep its value. Right now, the value of this game is like $550 now. It used to sit around 400s, but now since this pandemic stuff been going on, it jumped even more. At one point, it was like $650. I was like, oh my goodness. So I don't know. This is one of those games that will go up and stay up. You just don't. It's a volatile game. Speaking of a horror game, why is volatile? So I just want to add this to my collection. I got it here locally. Pay cash for it, but I paid super undervalued. And I guess I didn't pay much cash because I sold some stuff in my collection I've been keeping for a while to add to that. So like I say, if you want something super rare, don't be afraid to sell some games you can find again, because the games I've sold, I definitely know I can find again.
Yeah, typically rare games are going to keep their value if they're truly uncommon or rare. Like rare to me, so my definition of rare is a little bit different than most.
Okay.
Rare is something that you can't go on eBay and find any month. Mm-hmm. So like rare to me is like stuff I have to search that only pops up on eBay a couple times a year.
Okay.
But Kuon is sought after, and the demand is higher than the supply. Mm-hmm. So it's in demand, and a lot of people are willing to pay for it because it is one of the harder to get PlayStation 2 games. Mm-hmm. And PlayStation 2 right now is hot. Mm-hmm. And so for retro collecting, you know, PlayStation 2 is, I mean, it's that Kuon's like Rule of Rose, another game that's really hard to get. And so that is great trade bait, and you'll be able to trade that for something that you want down the road. And so typically those games, especially that it being that old, you don't have to worry about them being reprinted. Sometimes on like current gen stuff, if something's harder to get, if the company's still around, they do reprint it and they don't announce that. Okay. But because PlayStation 2 is 2 gens old, they're not going to reprint that. So the amount of games that are out there are going to stay out there. That's not going to be reprinted. And as time goes on, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder and harder to get a disc copy version, scratch free, nice shape. Like that's really important with disc based games, is that, you know, that the value of it also determines like the quality and condition of the manual. Is anything dog-eared? What's the condition of the case? Any scratches on the disc? And so that's fine.
All right, thank you. So you gonna close us out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end on this, and it is not the value of Kuon. That's okay. So I scored this for $3, and it's a palm unit, and it's complete, and it's not in the best shape, but it's got all the goodies to it, and it not brand new, but complete with the instruction manual.
Okay.
And this is actually my very first game console I played as a kid. And so mine had black knobs, not blue.
Okay.
And it's a Radio Shack TV scoreboard Pong unit. In at $3. And so Pong units typically can be found really cheap. Having them work, sometimes you got to check the battery compartment, and so making sure that there's not any corrosion or anything. But this one, I mean, I saw this and it was boxed $3. I picked it up because this is easily worth probably 20 in trade. And someone's going to want this. If you don't have a Pong unit in your collection, most people will at least want it just to have for the box. And so, Pong units were made. They made countless Pong units. AVGN did a Pong video. I've done several Pong videos on my channel. Some are worth a lot more. The Atari ones are worth a lot more. And so picking these up, it's fun. It's an odd thing to collect, and typically you can get these at a really affordable price because they're getting so old. It's made in the 70s, and so you can find stuff like this pretty cheap.
Cool. Well, that's awesome, man. Like I said, when I saw that Radio Shack sign, I was like, oh, I miss Radio Shack. It's like one or two Radio Shacks left in the United States now, and they probably
they're all, the name is now used for like something else, and it's sad to see it go, but I'm happy to I've collected a lot of Pong stuff over time because I like that stuff. I mean, it's for some people maybe too old, but there might be some people out there. It's like, man, Pong's still fun, playing that, and anybody can get into a game, and the different boxes and shapes and sizes and companies, and I like all the packaging. It looks really cool in the collection, and so yeah,
that's awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much, John, for coming on and doing this, man. This is one of the first time I've done a tag team pickup with somebody, so it's been fun, man. And I got some unique stuff. I hope the audience y'all enjoy what we got. Like I said, John, where can you find yourself? You want to tell everybody? I know everybody know you yet, but if somebody's new and never known you, how can they get in contact with you and where all your information?
All right, just type in at SWLOVINIST on Twitter, or just type in the Immortal John Hancock on YouTube. And I'm a frequent guest on Metal Jesus channel, but I have my own channel and I have many videos. I have about 775 videos, and I do 3 videos a week. So I keep it. I vary on my content, everything from Atari to Xbox.
Yeah, you got as many as videos as Super Nintendo games.
That's true. That's true.
You should just rename it like, hey, all these videos just many as Super Nintendo or something. That's amazing. Well, I don't have as many videos as you, but I enjoy making videos. I'm Mr.
Yes.
Right Way. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Like I always say, right here. Subscribe to John Hancock. He'll be right there. Hit the notifications and all that good stuff, guys. And remember, always do it the right way. Thank y'all for looking. See you next time.